Hello, I'm Gary, and thank you for stopping by again for another awesome video. Today, I'd like to introduce my kitty, Odin. He's a Bengal kitty. He's quite awesome, big time lover. I totally love him quite a bit. Well, as always, I have one more thing I always have wanted to say. Well, I always wanted to say that. Well, there we go. Ha, I'm a nut. Please like and subscribe. I can use all the likes and subscribes that I can get. Thank you very much. Now, let's get into it. That's one entry down. Let's talk about Generation Z today. Or Generation Z. Oh boy. Let's talk about Generation Z or Gen Z on society. Gen Z, if you were born between 1997 and 2012, you are considered a Gen Zer. So there we go with that. As with every generation, there are pros and cons to the same with every generation. Too bad I don't know what I. As with every generation, there are positives and negatives. The same with Generation Z. On this video, I'll hit on a little of both. So let's check it out. With some research, I came up with these pros and cons of Generation Z. And of course, this is all in my opinion. It's just the way I see it. Starting with some military issues. Um, the Gen Zers, far as the military, uh, they are extremely tech savvy. That is a huge plus. Unfortunately, there's a lot of negatives as well. Uh, the common barriers for recruitment: most people have criminal records, no high school diploma or GED, so lack of education. And again, we have being obese. This is a problem across America, not just for trying to get in the military. Now, if you're 6% over their military specifications, they can send you to a fat camp, so you can lose that weight and be able to make the right requirements for entry into the U.S. Army. Um, They also have a problem with people not being able to pass the ASVAB. And that basically tells you what jobs would work best for your knowledge. And they actually have people not even able to pass that. And they have a camp for that as well, where they get you in to teach you how to pass the ASVAB. How exactly do you teach someone just to pass the ASVAB when they're not educated enough to even know what to do or how to do something? That's really an interesting thought. And of course, the other problems that they're having is they have a feeling of entitlement and feeling of deserving. They think they are overworked. This is the U.S. military. You have to work, and sometimes you get overworked, but you keep on moving on. You get a lot of sham time too. So there is that. Let's move on because I have a few things to hit, and we'll move on to work. Again, they have a sense of entitlement and feeling like they deserve something, which is just crazy. I don't understand how people can feel that way. They think they're overworked. Again, they just I think they're afraid to get their hands dirty. Uh, it seems like just like every other teen, early 20 people, uh, they uh, they seem to know more than their bosses. But in this case, it's really getting in the way. They're very quite stubborn about that. There's a lack of work ethics, so that could be showing up, um, wanting to do right, and so on. Um, They're not very loyal to the company anymore. They're easily frustrated, and all that leads to churn of these people who just keep on moving on from one job to the next because they're not satisfied. And I wouldn't be surprised if their employer wasn't satisfied with those kind of work ethics. It's it just amazes me. I mean, our dads and their dads, they worked very, very hard with their hands. And just because we're now and there's so much tech out there, doesn't mean we just get to stop working with our hands. There's a lot of things to do in a society than just look at your phone. Lack of real world wisdom to handle real world issues away from the tech issues is a big problem. They don't get out. They don't get cultured enough. They don't get socialized enough, and they have these issues. The average Gen Zer spends 6 hours daily on the internet, probably on their phone. 6 hours a day. That's like almost as much as I sleep a night. That that's crazy. They don't want to get their hands dirty, like I said, like prior generations. Prior generations were always willing to work hard. We need that again because not working hard isn't going to get us anywhere. The average Gen Zer, again, checks their phone approximately 100 times a day. 100 times. If you work for somebody and they're checking their phone 100 times, that's like 30 million cigarette breaks in a day for you to work. That's that's crazy. They have a problem with focusing. And of course I believe that has all to do with the tech. You know, they focus fine on the tech, but past that they can't deal with real world again and real people and dealing with the common problems that come with that and the happiness that comes with that. They don't know how to understand even that part of it. It's crazy. They're likely to make real world to have less of a chance to have real world meaningful relationships. That means like a real girlfriend, a real fiance, a real wife, people that actually care about you and you care about them and you want to do the right thing. As a man, it's support them. As a woman, it's support them. You want to do well by your family. You know, it's so important. There's social media usage of Gen Z when they're on it again for 6 hours. In the real life, it translates for them to being lonely. They end up having a lot more anxiety and depression run high, which leads to suicidal tendencies. You know, they want they're hugely impatient and they are used to instant gratification on the internet. So without that, they have all these other society issues and just being able to get involved with everybody. It's it's kind of crazy. But there are positives. Like they're extremely tech savvy, as I said a few times earlier in this cast. Most are highly educated, which is great because we need people who can read, and you know they educate themselves on the internet as well. So there is a positive to that, but I don't think they're educating themselves for 6 hours and checking their phone 100 times. Uh, they're more likely to engage in environmental situations, which they're trying to help our environment, trying to help climate change, not make it worse. They understand that they're inheriting a very crappy world right now. So they need to work hard, and we need to work hard to make it better for our grandkids and their grandkids. If you like the video, Please like it. Please, please hit the subscribe button. And thanks for tuning in to GDS Video Productions. As always, God bless the USA.